Hi, welcome to Ken's Games Collection, and today we're going to be looking at my original Xbox collection, which I have been rebuilding for the last couple of years. Now, the original Xbox was released back in November 15, 2001 in North America, followed by Australia, Europe, and Japan in early 2002. It was the sixth generation console, competing with the PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, and also the ill-fated Sega Dreamcast, which was a fantastic machine. Okay, so the story goes that Microsoft became concerned that game consoles would threaten personal computers as the entertainment device for the living room. Now, most gaming consoles to that point were built with custom hardware components, and the Xbox would be built around standard personal computer components, using Microsoft Windows and DirectX as its operating system to support games and media playback. The original Xbox was technically more powerful than its rivals, featuring a 733 MHz Intel Pentium 3 processor, and it also was the very first console to have a built-in hard drive, and it came standard with broadband support for the internet. Xbox would go on to sell 24 million units worldwide, but could never crack the Japanese market. Although with the Xbox 360, they did have some developers to do Japanese RPGs, but it never really caught on in Japan, which was a shame because it is a fantastic console. So let's get into this collection of what I've got for the Xbox so far. It's still ongoing. Okay, so when I started rebuilding this collection, I sat down, made my list out, and I just totally gone off the list. I've got stuff here like Enter the Matrix, 50 Cent Bulletproof, and also Destroy All Humans, which I never owned before, and the same with Blinks 2. They were going at really good prices, so I thought I would pick them up. I have played Destroy All Humans, and I don't mind it. I know that there was a remaster that came out on the Xbox One. That is a lot of fun. 50 Cent, I got recommended by Lightsaber Samurai. I'll leave a link down below to his channel about this game and to pick it up while it's cheap, and it is going up in price, so I got that one. I didn't mind Brute Force. A lot of people didn't like that one. You could go into a secondhand store and pick that up for like 50 cents. And I have to say, Cold Fear, I actually like that way better than the Resident Evil series. There's only one game in this. There's only one game. There's no series in this, but it was a fantastic game. And Fable, which is a Microsoft Studios game, there was 3 games I remember, and also there was a Kinect game as well. So those games are really cool. Blinks, I never got into the Blinks games. I did play a little bit of the first Blinks game. I got Blinks 2, and that's still new and sealed. I don't know why. I think it was part of a deal that I got a couple of games that were still new and sealed, and that's really rare to find in this day and age. Original Xbox games, new and sealed. Now, Galleon is a really interesting game made by the creator of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, Toby Gard. This was something that he went on to do after he left the Tomb Raider series. It is kind of like a pirate game, and it's really interesting, the art style and the movements in this game from what I remember. We're going back 20 years since I played that game, but it was really interesting. Now, Grabbed by the Ghouls, I never owned that before, and I heard good things. What's really good about some of these games is they're backward compatible with the Xbox 360. If you have I think it's the official Xbox hard drive in there, you can play some of these games. And Grabbed by the Ghouls, I actually started playing, and I really enjoyed that one. Now, when you talk first-person shooters, I know a lot of people who own the original Xbox will say Halo. For me, Half-Life 2 on the Xbox was the bomb. I just absolutely loved that game more than Halo, believe it or not. And there's an interesting story I'll tell you about that. I actually went to the midnight launch of the original Xbox here in my hometown of Brisbane. It was up at Garden City at EB Games. Back then it was called Electronic Boutique, and it was the midnight launch. I picked up Halo and also Jet Set Radio Future. I mainly bought it for Jet Set Radio Future because I looked at the Xbox as the Dreamcast 2. So I got home after midnight, started playing Halo, was okay. Played Jet Set Radio Future. I think I was up until about 5 a.m. still playing that thing. I just could not get into Halo, and to this day, I cannot get into the Halo series apart from Halo Reach. I need to be honest about that. Halo Reach is my favorite Halo game, which is bizarre because so many gamers out there just love that series, but I can never get into it. I don't know. Like I said, I was more into Half-Life. Now, Indiana Jones, I've never seen a really good Indiana Jones on console. And the way things are going, I don't think we will ever see a decent Indiana Jones game. Jade Empire, I never played back in the day. I don't know why. Picked that up secondhand, really cheap. Jet Set Radio Future was the main reason why I bought the original Xbox. Love that game on the Dreamcast. And when I saw the trailer for Jet Set Radio Future, it blew me away. It was so much better than what we had on the Dreamcast. Everything about it is amazing, and that was the main reason why I got the original Xbox, and to this day it's one of my favorite games ever. Lynx, I picked it up recently. I've never played it. I remember playing the tennis game from Microsoft, but I never played this one. I still haven't played it yet, so I gotta give that one a go. Now I find Xbox original games still going pretty cheap, but the most expensive Xbox game that I paid for was Panzer Dragoon. $75. It's so hard to find. It was a game I had back in the day. I really want to get some more of the Sega games for the original Xbox, but it was just so cool to have that, and it is backward compatible with the Xbox 360, so that was really cool. Now, I really don't like the Munchie Odysseys art cover. It's because of the classic. I want that cover where it's all full screen. So I'm thinking of some stage trying to hunt down Munchie's Odyssey where it's the normal cover. I just love the cover art on that one. Stranger's Wrath was amazing when I first played it. It didn't have anything to do with Abe. It had a totally different character. It had something like, to me, it was like a Clint Eastwood type of character. That character was, and I just really loved that one. Wolfenstein was a fantastic first-person shooter. I never played that series before, and also the Prince of Persia. I want to get the three Prince of Persia games on the original Xbox. And I did pick up the Matrix games, both of those Matrix games, because with the new Matrix movie that came out, I thought that maybe these games would go up in price, and they were going really cheap, so I grabbed them. Madagascar was another game that I thought, yeah, I never played that back in the day, and it looks really cool, so I thought I'd get it. And Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, what can I say? I love those movies. The game is pretty good, and it's also backward compatible, so it's really great to see you be able to play some of these games. Not all of them, but most of the ones I got here are backward compatible for the Xbox 360, and that's something that I really look at when I'm trying to either rebuild the collection or experience original Xbox games for the first time. I always have a look at that list of I think it's 70 or 80 games, or it could be even more, on the Microsoft website, and I just try and keep an eye out for that sort of stuff, just so I can play it on not the original hardware. I'd rather play it on the Xbox 360. To me, it's just easier. Now, I believe there is 2 Scooby-Doo games on the original Xbox. I've got this one. I really want to hunt down this other one, which I only recently found on eBay, but it's really hard to find one with the European cover. I don't want to get the one with the Australian cover, because at that stage, the Australian classification labels had gotten bigger. When you look at something like Toe Jam and Earl there, it's got the small Australian classification label. After some point in time, the Australian classification board would go crazy with the size of the labels. It's even worse than the German classification labels for games. So yeah, I need to try and hunt that down, the Scooby-Doo game for the original Xbox, but European version, which is really hard at the moment. I picked up Sonic Heroes. I thought that would be great. I don't know if I really enjoyed it that much. I did try and play it a bit, and it's just really odd with the controls in that one. The Suffering I had back in the day, absolutely love that game. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, which was released a few years ago on the Nintendo Switch, which I bought as well. That was a great adventure game set in Egypt. I really liked that one. And we have the TAC games as well, which I thought was cool. There's only 2 TAC games on the original Xbox, I believe. I know on the PlayStation 2 there is actually 3 games. It could be even 4. And that's a series I would love to see games remastered for. It's such a great series, so much fun, platforming, brilliant. Now, Toe Jam and Earl 3. Sega was on a roll at this stage, even when they had the Dreamcast. They were making so many amazing games, and this was, from memory, it's been a long time. It was visually stunning game. The gameplay was there. It looked great. We had a new character, I think, brought into this series, a female character. It had just a lot of polish to this game, and it just showed to me just how amazing Sega was back then, when they could, they stopped making the Dreamcast and they could go on just to be like a third-party developer, and they really harnessed the power of the original Xbox, and it was just fantastic. Also, we have Tomb Raider Legend, which I have on the Xbox 360, and I think it even have it on the PlayStation 2. I'm a mad Tomb Raider fan. I recently picked that up for like $10, and I just thought, okay, I'll put it in the collection because it's something that was really cool. Top Spin Tennis was a great game. It was challenging, from what I remember. Really cool to have Leighton Hewitt on the front cover, Aussie tennis icon. That was really cool. Now, the Thai series, we have had remasters of Thai 1 and 2. I picked up the first one on the Xbox One, started playing it, and I don't know, I remember playing it back in the day. I thought it was great. It was made by Chrome Studios, which is based in my hometown of Brisbane, so it was really great to support them back in the day. But it's really weird going back after 20 odd years to replay something that you remember a lot different than what it was. I don't know how I feel about the series now. It didn't grab me the way it did back in the day, which is odd, I know, but it's great to have those games in the series. Now, Van Helsing was a great movie. The gameplay kind of is like Devil May Cry, I think, and it's nothing wrong with that, but it's not up to that sort of standard of Devil May Cry. Now, Vex is a really cool platforming game that I really enjoyed back in the day. I don't remember too much about it. It's been a long time, like I said, with these other games, but it was something that I really enjoyed back in the day, along with 13, where David Duchovny from the X-Files did the narration for, and was the character for this game, where it's like conspiracy, the assassination of a president and stuff like that. And that was another game that recently got a remaster. You can see some of these games would get remasters over the years, but that was a good game as well. I just love the cell shaded graphics for 13. Really different from what I had played for first person shooters in the past. So as I was putting this video together, I ended up buying another 4 original Xbox games, starting off with The Simpsons Hit and Run. I owned this game back in the day and I absolutely loved it. It was so faithful to the series. It had the original cast doing the voices in it, and it had a great story as well. Now, this game I paid $40 for. I've seen it on the PlayStation 2. For some reason, it's going for $80 here in Australia. I don't know about other parts of the world, but on the original Xbox, $40, double that on PlayStation 2, and it just looks amazing on the original Xbox. It's going to look really crappy, I think, on the PS2. Sorry, but that's true. Now, I really want to get The Simpsons Road Rage as well, so I'm going to try and keep an eye out for that. I did pick up Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. I don't know if it's a really good game or not. It was going cheap, and I loved the movie, so I got the game. Now, back in the day, I did own Psych Ops, the Mindgate Conspiracy, and I knew if I ever was going to rebuild my Xbox collection that it was a game that I really want to get. And I do remember it does deal with telekinesis and all that sort of stuff. using mind drain and mind control, it was something that I really enjoyed. So I was really happy to pick that one up really cheap as well. Now, I never owned Outrun 2, and I'm really trying to recollect my original Sega Master System collection, and I played Outrun recently on the Master System. I absolutely loved it, and I thought I'd like to try and get Outrun 2, and I found it for $20, and I put it in the Xbox 360 because it's backward compatible, and oh my god, it is fantastic. It's got the same sort of music from the Master System version. It's all beefed up and it just looks fantastic. So I was really happy to get that one. And I think there's one other Outrun game on the Xbox as well, so I might try and hunt that down. So that's pretty much it. That's my original Xbox collection. I will try and get maybe 10 more games for it, and then I'm done with it. I don't want to have a massive collection. I just want to get the games that I had back in the day, and also get some titles that I've never experienced before that I always wanted to try. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you next time, guys. Bye.